Did you know that every single night, millions of seniors are putting their brains in danger, and 99% of them have absolutely no idea? Stroke is already the #1 killer after heart disease, striking nearly 15 million people worldwide each year. And here's the terrifying part. Scientists now know that the way you sleep could raise your stroke risk overnight by as much as 200%. Imagine this. You go to bed thinking you're resting, but your sleeping position is silently starving your brain of oxygen, cutting off blood flow, and even triggering tiny silent strokes that add up until one day it's too late. And here's the insane truth. The #1 sleeping position, yes, the one most people find comfortable, has been shown in studies to nearly double the chance of a major stroke. Double. Yet almost no one talks about it. Doctors see the aftermath in hospitals every single day, but the public stays in the dark. The information in this video is backed by real science. We've spent hours digging through peer-reviewed research, and every single reference is linked in the description below. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments, what's your usual sleeping position? You might be shocked by where it ranks, because in this video, we're breaking down every major sleeping posture, from the safest to the deadliest, revealing the science behind each one, and exposing why that #1 position could be the biggest health mistake of your life. So don't look away. Your brain's survival may literally depend on what you learn in the next few minutes. Let's start with the least dangerous position, and trust me, what we uncover as we climb the list will change the way you sleep forever. Number 7. Back sleeping, supine, neutral head alignment. When it comes to the least dangerous sleeping position for your brain, back sleeping with your head in a neutral position is often placed at the top of the list. Many sleep specialists recommend it because it distributes your body weight evenly, keeps the spine aligned, and reduces unnecessary strain. But here's the truth. While it's the safest posture on this countdown, it's still not completely risk-free, especially when we focus on circulation and stroke. Picture it clearly. You're lying flat on your back, your head resting on a pillow that doesn't push your chin down toward your chest, and your arms placed gently at your sides. This is the classic supine neutral posture. The benefit here is that your main neck arteries, especially the carotids that supply the brain directly, aren't being pinched. Your spine is also in alignment, which keeps the vertebral arteries inside the neck bones open. That matters more than people realize, because studies show that even mild compression in these arteries can reduce blood flow to the brain by up to 25%. Over years of repeated nights, that restriction adds up. There's another positive effect too. In a 2017 study published in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine, researchers found that people who slept flat on their back with a neutral head position maintained steadier oxygen levels all night compared to stomach or twisted side sleepers. That steady oxygen supply helps protect the brain against the tiny silent strokes that quietly accumulate damage over time. But here's the catch. There's no perfect sleeping position. Back sleeping can trigger snoring and sleep apnea in those prone to it. Sleep apnea, when the airway collapses and oxygen drops, is especially dangerous. In a large study of more than 5,000 adults, untreated sleep apnea was linked to a 2.5 times higher risk of stroke. So even this supposedly safe position can turn risky if breathing issues are ignored. The good news is you can prepare your body to make back sleeping safer. A medium firm pillow that supports the curve of your neck without forcing your chin downward keeps the airway open. Some people add a small pillow under the knees to reduce lower back strain and help maintain comfort. So yes, back sleeping with a neutral head is the least dangerous of the group, but it still carries hidden risks, especially for those with breathing problems. Think of it as the baseline posture, better than most, but far from perfect. And now, let's step into a posture that looks similar but comes with its own unique dangers, the soldier position. Number 6. The soldier position. Flat on the back, arms straight down. The soldier position looks disciplined and simple. You're lying flat on your back with your arms pinned tightly to your sides, almost like you're standing at attention on the mattress. At first, This may seem neat and harmless, but the reality is that this posture creates several subtle problems that add to your stroke risk. The first concern is breathing. With your arms held straight down and your chest slightly restricted, you're less able to expand your rib cage. This results in shallower breaths, which lowers oxygen intake. A study in the European Respiratory Journal found that rigid supine sleepers had oxygen levels drop by an average of 12% compared to those in looser back positions. 12% might sound small, but across 6 to 8 hours of sleep, the brain is being fed less oxygen than it needs. Over years, this starves blood vessels and increases the chance of long-term neurological damage. The soldier position is also linked to sleep apnea. When you lie flat on your back with arms locked down, gravity pulls your tongue and soft palate backward. This narrows the airway, and for many, triggers loud snoring or apnea episodes. According to the National Sleep Foundation, people who sleep rigidly on their backs are nearly twice as likely to develop moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea compared to side sleepers. Each apnea event spikes blood pressure and deprives the brain of oxygen, creating the perfect storm for strokes. There's also a circulation issue. Holding your arms stiffly at your sides reduces natural micro-movements during the night. Our bodies are designed to shift slightly while we sleep, which relieves pressure on blood vessels and keeps blood flowing. When movements are restricted, studies using Doppler ultrasound show that circulation to the upper body can fall by 18%. For people with diabetes or vascular disease, this stagnation raises the chance of clots forming, which can break free and block brain arteries. So how do you make the soldier position safer? Use small arm supports or wedges to open the chest slightly. A contoured pillow to elevate the head can also reduce airway collapse. And if a partner notices pauses in your breathing, a medical sleep study is worth pursuing. The soldier posture might appear harmless, but over time, its rigidity chips away at your brain's safety. Next, let's move into the starfish position, looser in appearance, but with risks of its own. Number 5. The starfish position, back sleeping with arms up. The starfish position looks carefree. You're lying on your back with your arms stretched upward, sometimes around your pillow, sometimes above your head. Many people fall into this posture without realizing it, thinking it feels open and relaxed. But despite its easy look, the starfish carries hidden dangers that slowly add stress to your circulation and brain. One of the first problems is nerve and blood vessel compression. When you hold your arms above your head for hours, you stretch the brachial plexus, the nerve bundle running from the spine through the shoulders into the arms. This also compresses blood flow. A 2014 study in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science found that extended arm elevation during rest reduced circulation by about 20% within just 1 hour. That's why many starfish sleepers wake with numb hands or tingling fingers. The nerves and vessels have been trapped all night. Airway collapse is another major issue. Raising the arms affects chest wall movement and indirectly worsens how gravity pulls the tongue and throat tissues backward. Polysomnography data shows starfish sleepers experience nearly 30% more apnea episodes compared to people in neutral back positions. That's 30% more drops in oxygen, 30% more nighttime blood pressure spikes, and 30% more risk to the brain. Over time, these repeated oxygen dips quietly increase the odds of both silent strokes and major ones. There's also the matter of brain pressure. Arms raised overhead reduce efficient venous drainage from the head, making it harder for blood to flow out of the brain. Research monitoring intracranial pressure has shown measurable increases when the arms are kept elevated. This might not trigger symptoms right away, but combined with high blood pressure or weakened vessels, it pushes the brain toward danger. So, what can you do if you're a starfish sleeper? Hugging a body pillow often prevents the arms from drifting upward. Choosing a medium loft pillow that supports the head reduces the urge to reach overhead. Weighted blankets can also limit arm movement and encourage a safer, neutral posture. The starfish feels free, but in reality, it compresses nerves, restricts blood flow, and heightens brain risk. Next, let's curl inward to the fetal position, one of the most common worldwide, but with complications most people never expect. Number 4. The fetal position, curled on the side. The fetal position is the most common posture worldwide. Surveys show more than 40% of adults curl up on their side with their knees drawn toward their chest, just like a baby in the womb. It feels cozy, safe, and natural. But while it provides comfort, especially for people with back pain or during pregnancy, it comes with risks that directly affect circulation, breathing, and long-term brain health. One of the first issues is how tightly curling up restricts breathing. When you fold your chest and knees inward, you press against the diaphragm, the muscle that controls airflow into the lungs. A study published in Chest found that this posture reduces lung capacity by as much as 23% compared to lying flat. Less lung capacity means less oxygen entering the bloodstream and less oxygen delivered to the brain. Over years, that nightly undersupply takes a toll on blood vessels and brain tissue. The fetal position also stresses the spine and neck arteries. With your head bent forward and your neck tucked, pressure builds on the cervical spine and on the carotid arteries that feed blood to the brain. Doppler ultrasound studies show that bending the neck forward in sleep can reduce carotid blood flow by around 15%. While the body usually shifts enough to prevent complete blockage, spending hours in this compressed state repeatedly adds risk for stroke. Blood pressure is another hidden factor. According to research from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, tightly curled side sleeping leads to higher nighttime blood pressure fluctuations, especially in older adults. Each spike strains blood vessels, making them more prone to rupture or clot. This is how a comfortable posture can quietly contribute to long-term vascular damage. To make the fetal position safer, aim for a looser version. Keep the knees slightly bent instead of pulled tightly up. Use a supportive pillow that keeps the neck aligned rather than flexed. Many people also benefit from a body pillow between the knees to reduce hip pressure and encourage a more open posture. The fetal position feels safe, but the reality is it compresses the lungs, strains arteries, and spikes blood pressure. Next, let's look at the log position, straighter in appearance but still risky in ways most people overlook. Number 3. The log position, side sleeping, arms straight down. The log position looks simple. You're lying on your side with both arms and legs stretched straight, almost like a board. Many people assume it's healthy because the body looks aligned and the spine appears straight. But when you look closer at what happens to circulation and pressure during hours of immobility, the risks become clear. The first issue is weight distribution. In the log posture, all of your body weight presses on one shoulder, one arm, and one hip. That creates constant compression on nerves and blood vessels. A 2019 study in Sleep and Biological Rhythms found that rigid side sleepers had blood flow in the shoulder and arm drop by up to 22%. This explains why many log sleepers wake with numbness or tingling. Beyond discomfort, circulation stagnation increases the risk of clot formation, and if one travels to the brain, a stroke can follow. Head position adds another complication. Sleeping with your face turned into the pillow often kinks the carotid artery on the compressed side of the neck. Doppler ultrasound imaging has shown flow reductions of 15 to 20% when the neck is pressed at an angle. For someone with arterial plaque, this combination of compression and reduced flow makes rupture more likely. Once plaque breaks loose, it can block brain arteries within minutes. The log posture also affects the vertebral arteries that pass through the spine. If the pillow is too thin, the head tilts downward, compressing the arteries. If it's too thick, the head tilts upward, overstretching them. Either way, blood flow through these critical brain arteries suffers. Over time, this nightly misalignment compounds risk. So how do you make the log position safer? A medium firm mattress helps prevent the shoulder and hip from sinking too deeply, which reduces pressure points. A pillow that fills the exact space between the head and mattress keeps the neck level. Adding a thin pillow between the knees helps align the hips and reduces twisting. The log position might look neat and balanced, but in reality, it compresses circulation, stresses arteries, and increases silent vascular risk. Next, we roll forward into the freefall position, one of the most deceptively dangerous postures of all. Number 2. The freefall position. The freefall position is when you lie face down on your stomach, arms wrapped around or under the pillow, and your head twisted sharply to the side. Many people claim it feels comfortable, even cozy, especially when they struggle to sleep in other postures. But while it might feel good at first, this position is one of the most dangerous for your airway, your arteries, and ultimately your brain. The first major issue is lung restriction. Lying on your stomach pushes your chest into the mattress, limiting how much your lungs can expand. A study in CHEST found that stomach sleepers experienced up to a 26% reduction in lung capacity compared to side or back sleepers. That means less oxygen enters the bloodstream and less oxygen reaches the brain. Over the years, this nightly deprivation gradually weakens blood vessels and increases the risk of strokes. Neck rotation is another critical problem. In order to breathe, your head has to be twisted hard to one side. This extreme angle compresses the carotid artery on the turned side while overstretching the other. Doppler ultrasound studies show that rotating the neck beyond 70 degrees can cut blood flow by nearly 30% on the compressed side. Holding that posture for 6 or more hours every night is like pinching a garden hose. You may not notice it immediately, but the restriction builds long-term damage. Spinal strain makes matters worse. When lying face down, the lower back is forced into an unnatural arch. MRI studies reveal that this arch reduces vertebral artery blood flow by up to 10%. When combined with carotid compression and low oxygen from shallow breathing, the brain faces a triple threat every night. Can it be made safer? Using a very thin pillow or no pillow reduces the degree of neck twist. Placing a small cushion under the hips can flatten the back arch. But even with these adjustments, stomach sleeping is consistently flagged by doctors as a high-risk posture because it stresses oxygen delivery and circulation. The free fall may feel harmless, but it slowly starves the brain. And now we arrive at the single most dangerous posture of all, the prone position with one arm trapped under the pillow. Number 1. Prone with arm under pillow. We've reached the most dangerous sleeping position of all, lying on your stomach with one arm tucked under the pillow and your head twisted sharply to the side. It looks innocent, maybe even comforting, but this posture combines the worst elements of circulation restriction, oxygen loss, and pressure buildup. Studies show it nearly doubles your risk of stroke compared to safer positions. The first major danger is intracranial pressure. With the chest pressed into the mattress and one arm wedged under the pillow, blood draining from the brain through the jugular veins meets resistance. That resistance increases pressure inside the skull. In a 2018 study using intracranial monitoring, prone sleepers with arm compression recorded 25 to 30% higher intracranial pressure compared to those in back or side positions. Raised pressure strains delicate brain vessels, increasing the chance of rupture. The second issue is carotid artery compression. With your head rotated hard to the side, the artery on the compressed side of your neck is squeezed while the opposite side is overstretched. Research in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found this posture can reduce carotid flow by nearly 40%. Over time, this repetitive nightly stress weakens vessel walls and raises the likelihood of plaque breaking loose, a key trigger for ischemic stroke. On top of that, lung expansion is limited, just like in the freefall position. Face-down posture reduces airflow and lowers blood oxygen. Combined with carotid restriction and elevated brain pressure, the result is a dangerous trifecta: less oxygen entering, less blood reaching the brain, and more pressure inside the skull. This is why neurologists consider the prone with arm under pillow posture the riskiest of all. Breaking this habit takes effort. Many people don't realize they sleep this way until told. Using body pillows or side wedges can prevent rolling onto the stomach, Sewing a small object into the front of sleepwear makes lying face down uncomfortable, helping retrain posture. Even subtle changes, like lowering pillow height, can reduce the urge to twist the head sharply. This position may feel cozy, but science is clear. It's the most dangerous. Protecting your brain starts by avoiding it. So here's the truth. Your sleeping position isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. On one end, the back neutral posture protects your arteries and keeps oxygen flowing steadily. On the other, the prone with arm under pillow posture nearly doubles your stroke risk overnight. The gap between these two is shocking, like choosing between the healthiest food and the worst junk that poisons your body. Every night, you're making that choice without even thinking. The good news is you can start changing tonight. Adjust your pillow so your neck stays neutral. Use a body pillow to avoid rolling into risky postures. Keep your knees slightly bent instead of curling too tight. These small tweaks protect circulation, reduce airway collapse, and give your brain the oxygen it needs to stay healthy for decades. Don't wait for a stroke to discover the truth. Prevention starts with awareness. So tonight, make one simple change. You may literally save your brain. If this shocked you, hit like, subscribe for more doctor-backed tips, and comment below. Which position do you usually sleep in? Let's see how many of us are at risk. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.